Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd do kind of a short video. I got a couple questions to ask on how this creation moves forward, but let me show you where I'm at so far. So I did get the rest of the hull kind of completed with the blocks. Now I'll probably do some enhancements along the way, and obviously I haven't textured any of the underside yet, and I haven't quite fully got the texture scheme worked out yet. Um, in this, I did go back and add in a couple more lift thrusters, which was originally planning on doing, but then I decided to cut them on the last update. So they're back in place. It has four lift thrusters and it also has four forward thrusters um, in the setup. Now, I'm not super happy with the appearance of having the four forward thrusters or lift thrusters, really, but it's not bad. It's not bad. And I don't really need it for speed. I need it for rolling and pitch and that kind of thing. It helps a lot with. And it just makes it generally a pretty fast ship. So this is the hardened steel version, and it still has a hardened steel wingtips as well. And I'm sorry about the frame rate again. It's if I go on the planet, it's just terrible. Um, it's not like terrible. It's just like it gets into this weird mode where it just gets really, like right now, it's just like super choppy. Why it is, I don't know. But that's a side effect of trying to do things on the planet. Um, so if we take a look at our numbers here, and I'm not so much looking at the speeds, but I'm looking at the roll, yaw, and pitch. So we're 30 roll, 33 yaw, 40 pitch on this version. So let me go up to another version here, and this one was converted a lot. So the hull is steel and the wingtips are carbon, or the wingtips are basically from about this point going across here. So this area has some tougher blocks down there where the launchers are. If we look here, we've got 46 on roll, 52 yaw, 60 on pitch on this version. So the numbers did go up quite a bit, and it's also, of course, they're bigger here too with your strafing and your forward thrust and the rest of your thrust. Basically, it was a big weight reduction on the ship. So yeah, it's a pretty maneuverable ship for sure. It flies like a pretty agile SV actually, considering it's a relatively decent sized CV. Um, so I'm pretty happy with that part of it. Now, where I have a big problem with this ship right now, and I don't have a solution. Well, I don't have a good solution. Is basically the issue I was thinking about before. How do you land it? How do you get in the ship? I can't. Nothing really works. So I did add landing gear back over here, so obviously it's landed on the Helios. It is legitimately landed on the Helios right now, but I have no landing gear anywhere in the front area, and I have no possible way of adding any kind of ramp door or anything from the bottom side of the ship to get you in the ship. It's too high. It's too high in the air. I was playing around with that trying to put like a door somewhere in here, but you see how high this is from the ground. I mean, there's nothing that works for that. Um, for landing gear, the only solution would be it's not really landing gear, would be to use the blast door thing that comes down, you know, 6 7 blocks. But actually, I think that looks horrid. So I don't like the looks of that. I guess it works though, but it lands without it just fine. I guess. Except, if you were on the ground or not in space where you could jetpack around, it's just there's no way you're going to get back up in the ship. So it's kind of a problem with that. So to fix this problem, the only solution would be to really flatten off the bottom of the ship, which I really don't want to do because that's why I think the bottom looks good. Is it's not flat. And I would have to certainly get rid of these positions over here, so I could basically have this the bottom of the ship here, and I guess just throw the launchers in the wing somehow, which isn't right according to what the Klingon ships should look like. But that would give me a flatter bottom, and then I could add in some kind of boarding ramp, and probably end up having to block a turret, or maybe put another like landing gear like in this area right behind the turret, so I wouldn't block a turret with it. But cosmetically speaking, that's it stinks. It wrecks it. It really wrecks a lot of what I was trying to accomplish with the ship, to get it to land. So on another way of thinking is I already pretty much deem this as a space only combat ship. I mean the turrets and stuff on it um, are going to be probably mostly for space. Um, it doesn't have a hangar. It doesn't really have any reason to go down to a planet surface at all. It just and right now, if I wanted it to land on a planet surface, it would cause me to like redesign like the whole bottom part of the ship and flatten it out in the process. So basically, I'm curious on what you think. You think I had to modify this to put in like a walkway ramp door or something on the bottom of the ship so you can get in it and have it land appropriately on like a planet surface or whatnot, or you think how to leave it about how it is and just say, hey, this is a space only creation. Although it can easily probably fly in even 4G gravity, it's got no ground function whatsoever to it, and you really shouldn't take it down to the ground because once you do, um, you're going to be really hard pressed to find a way to get back into the ship because it's just I can't really add much indoors here. I could put in something, maybe some kind of door that opens up and you would have to like launch up into it or something like that. I don't know yet. It's just several blocks away from the ground, and like the landing gear start at this level here. I run that here. Basically, I'm saying I would have to have put in a landing gear. Let's just pick something here to get to the ground would have to. Well, you get the idea. um, would have to drop it down considerably, and this is even one of the taller areas of the ship. It's even, or I'm sorry, area that comes down a little bit further, right here and here. Hold on, let me. Yeah, so the landing gear would have to be at at this position here to work, or you use this only landing gear that's 2 blocks tall, and it doesn't work very good either. So, and that would still have to start at the same height as what those blocks are at. So it doesn't really matter. You don't really have any good options with landing gear on these things to have any kind of bottom going on besides big flat bottoms or areas that all level off across the ship. So I've been a bit perplexed with that, and I'm just kind of curious on what you guys think about that kind of thing. I don't need to fix that right now, but um, uh, because it's kind of tripping me up. It really is. I don't know exactly which way I should go with it, but that's why I want to do the video to get some feedback on that to see what you guys think. Is it worthwhile trying to kind of screw up the aesthetics of the ship for the sake of landing and boarding, or leave it, say, call it a space only ship? There'll be ways in and out of the ship. Like there's actually some doors over here now where you can get in. Well, a blast door behind there, and there'll be another probably entry point somewhere in this general vicinity going down into a secure bridge. I could even have an entry point somewhere on the bottom of it, but it'd just be like a blast door that opens up and you can crawl through it or something. But yeah, trying to do any fancy boarding ramps or anything are really out of the question with this it being shaped like this. So you just can't do it. There's just not the right kind of parts, and the biggest boarding ramps, like I was playing around with the other version down there, are not even close to the how tall they would have to be to make this work in its present setup. And I really would hate to remove this whole apparatus over here and like smooth out the bottom of the ship, so it's all kind of flat across there. I think I'd really lose a lot of potential appearance from that because I mean one of the neat things about it is when you see it from this angle, you see those swinging down like that. You see that this is kind of tucked up in a good part of the ship, and to change that would be pretty bad for appearance, and not very fun to do. I especially last thing I want to do is spend a couple hours trying to work it all out again, and then have it like look worse than when I started. And I know that would happen. Like the closest ship I probably made in the past to this, at least on overall function, is probably the Creel Bahamut. And this one, I had to do like the bottom really flat on it. I had to make sure that these areas came down and this area came down to the same height, and it really screws up the side profile of these things. Like if I would have not had to do that, I would have probably shaped this a little bit differently to start with. Um, but at the end of the day, this ship is kind of in some ways similar to the one I'm building now. Is the fact that it has very similar capabilities. This is not as fast as that ship. It has more guns on it, but doesn't have a hangar, doesn't have a farm, doesn't have. It's a combat only ship. And if you have a ship like this, that means you gotta have another ship, and you gotta move this ship around with you so you can use it when you want to. And that's kind of the problem I've got with this one here too. It doesn't have all the function in this ship for it to be your like main ship in the game, and therefore you've got to transport it around. And as you can tell, how big it is and how wide the wingspan is, that I can't even park it, facing forward on the Helios because the wings are too wide. The wingtips fall off the edges of the flight deck. And keep in mind, this is for the actual size of a flight deck. This is the biggest ship I've got. This is the biggest flight deck ship that I have made. Even I think it outpaces the MCRN Leviathan too, because that has the center mass that's in there that screws it up. Um, so yeah, that is where I'm at. I'm just kind of looking for some input, some advice. As in one last topic, and that is the color. A lot of votes were for green. Now I'm not super happy, thrilled about the green, but you know, I'll have to keep on tweaking it and try to find ways to make it look a little bit better. Try to get some more textures in there, a little bit more stuff. I haven't put much time into the texturing in this so far, but there's not many things that work very well. I mean, there's just a lack of options really. So basically, um, the plan is right now to have it kind of in the Klingon green. It might fluctuate a little bit from where you see it now. Um, and then have an alternative color palette that you can pop into the ship, and that would be more like a gray gunmetal look. And I can do that. I've done that before on some past creations. It'd be something that you would have to like go to when you go to the blueprint page, you copy like a text information, and then you paste it into the color palette in the game, and then it replaces all the colors. Unfortunately, this game is really weird with its color palette thing. And if you didn't know this already, I just wanted to kind of lay it out how it works. And it's like I don't even know why they added in these options because they didn't finish them, in my opinion. Um, so like if you look at this ship, last time you seen this ship, I had other color palettes in here. Well, once you save it, it doesn't save any of those color palettes though. It doesn't. Any extra color palettes you got does not save with the creation. So once you spawn it in again, all those other color palettes are gone. They just see ya. So I don't even know why it has tabs for more color palettes if it doesn't actually remember any of it. It's kind of pointless. It really is. So that is kind of a problem I've got with this. It will not save other color palettes. The only way to change the color palette on a ship is to print out the text on your workshop page of the actual color, and then copy and paste that from a Steam page. Go in here, select your whole thing, and then paste it in place, and then it replaces the color with that other color set. But it doesn't save it. It doesn't save any of it. It'll save your main color palette only. So yeah, I never really figured out why even bother having the alternative color palettes if it doesn't want to take the time to remember what they are. It's just pointless. And for some reason, because I respawn the ship basically, as long as I kept on working on the same one without respawning it, it'll remember the color palettes until you save it, and then you spawn in the saved version, and then you lost all your colors. So that is something that happens in the game. Again, don't know why, but that's just the way it works. So Yeah, having two different color palettes I think would be a good choice, and then I could have my gunmetal version and not have the green version if I so desired to be that way. Could even have other alt color versions, I guess, but I'm not sure what else you would color a Klingon ship in besides those two main color schemes. Um, I don't know, maybe there's a brown one or a red one. I don't know. I don't think there really is though. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts, especially on the whole landing and boarding issue. That is my big sticky topic right now. It's kind of been fairly demotivational thinking about it, and especially when I'm racking my brain looking at every possibility that I could do to make this ship work that way, and I failed. I failed. It's just there's no way to do it short of making the bottom flat. Um, and not have like those parts hanging down and stuff like that. And yeah, that is literally the only thing you can do. So let me know, and that is all for today's video. You guys have yourself a great Monday. I'll talk to you later.